Warning. The footage you are about to see may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
This video is brought to you in part by Zeal Sound and viewers like you. Thank you.
Yo, Speedy, clip this one.
Alright, y'all. I don't know how heavily I can emphasize this. This trigger warning, but heavily trigger warning. Hopefully I don't get restricted or strike for posting this. You know what I'm saying? But and I don't even want to make this video too long, but everybody needs to hear this. As far as the whole Lex and Reagan situation, everybody need to hear this.
Look, to my knowledge, Lex still carries around these Polaroids. And to my knowledge, Lex still has child porn on his phone and his PC. In his video, Lex says, "There is also a serious claim that I raped my ex-girlfriend Reagan. This statement made by her is completely inappropriate and false." Well, here I am proving that my statement is right, that Lex, you did in fact rape me when I was a minor, and I am willing to go to court for this, and I'm willing to prove myself in front of a judge with all of my information and all of my evidence.
Now, I ain't rewind far back enough to mention some other things that she said, but that right there is enough to make me believe that there is some type of credibility to these claims. She's willing to testify in court, man. And this is a very well put together video. I didn't even know she had a YouTube channel. This was dropped on August 30th, 2024. And I am almost positive she had help from a lawyer making this video. And if a lawyer helped work on this video, I don't think he's gonna want to lie.
The night that Lex took my virginity, he had to beg me to undress myself. I never wanted Lex to take my virginity. Lex says that everything we did together was consensual and of age. None of it was consensual. None of it was of age. Now that I'm older and I'm an actual adult, I can confidently say that I didn't consent to anything Lex did to me. I was too young to consent. Lex's proof that I consented to his sexual advances are text messages of myself as a minor, talking actual things. This is a clear sign of being. I was in an environment that talked about sex and I was repeating back the things that Lex had been telling me. Lex says that and uses it as an excuse to say that he did not. Here are some screenshots of messages that Lex sent me about him being my daddy and how he was going to me. I am a 17-year-old minor and he's a 20-year-old adult in these messages. In these messages, you can see him sending me abusive material like, "I can't wait to demolish your perfect, take advantage of you and you. And daddy is going to be so dominant now because I feel so powerful. But if you just say stop, daddy is going to rip up that pussy."
Oh my God, bro, what? Yo, listen, man. Like I said, I don't know how I can put the heaviest trigger warning on this. But what can I say about this? You want me to say that I think she's lying? I don't. I'm not going to confirm nor deny right now if I believe this. But I'm not going to lie that I'm more inclined to believe that the evidence that's presented in this video is more accurate than the evidence that's presented in Lex's. You know what I'm saying? Case or oh my Lord, I don't even know how to word. It's just like, what? Yo, everybody was mad about a 3-year age gap. What do you got to say about this? Lex is more than a weirdo. He might be a criminal, and Ren is willing to testify in court. What? This is that serious. This is that serious. Noah cheating ain't got on this. JC cheating ain't got on this. What?
I'm going to feel when you don't want me to. That's the only time I'll feel. And plus what makes daddy so staged. But I'm going to be bouncing on you with my full weight and then destroying you, baby.
What? How did you respond though? You know what I'm saying? That's the only devil advocate. But how did you respond? Why did you? Because you was young and naive and you was into that. And maybe birds of a feather flock together. Y'all both was into that. If you take accountability for the fact that, I mean, that don't make what he was doing right though. That does not make what he was doing right. Just because that you entered that don't mean y'all both was in the wrong. But still, even if you are in the wrong for things that you might be like, well, not even in the wrong, but just because you might be having to take accountability for the things that you're into, that does not mean that you have to take accountability for what someone else did to you. That's what I will say. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, Yeah, you might like certain things, but that don't mean you want it all the time. I like ice cream. I ain't gonna eat ice cream all the time. Yo, what?
You're gorgeous, baby. I need to till I can destroy your body. Oh my god, baby. You are daddy's little treasure. Daddy loves you so much. I
This is
just
like
really
Law and
now, like
Order in
really
real life.
badly. Daddy can't stop thinking of his dream where he picked you up with one arm and I'd carry you around like my little pet. I'm going to ride your bum, and then when they are, I want you to tell daddy that you've been a good girl. Lex was enforcing his own sexual kinks and fantasies on me, grooming me to be the perfect product. Lex was exploiting me as a child. Lex would call himself daddy even before I was comfortable enough to use the word in a kink way. It was a normal dialect by the age of 16. But my Twitter email messages between him and I only go back as far as till I was 17. That's why I'm glad that Lex posted proof of him talking to me when I was 16 years old. In regards to Lex talking about with me and talking about ways that I could please him more, Lex messaged me, "Awesome hard now, baby. So when I kiss you, please try and grab my poking you so it ain't awkward." I was awkward and I wouldn't grab Lex. I was never comfortable with it. I just wanted to do cute stuff like watch movies together, go to a park. We never did that unless it involved Lex getting me. The messages Lex shows of me saying seconds was just me trying to fuel his kinks. Lex claims in his video that even though she was a minor, she was all over me, so she wanted it.
Bro, what, like, she's cooking. I don't know about y'all. I don't know if y'all hearing what I'm hearing. The Foolsly response is not like this. Foolsly response is not like this. That's all I'm gonna say.
On me when I was a child. I didn't understand any better in the situation, and I thought that you were going to marry me because you told me stuff like that. I thought that you were the love of my life at the time. You were the adult in the situation. You were the one who knew better. We have an age gap of 3 years. Lex was 16 years old, and then he proceeded several times when I was 17 years old. Lex can say that I consented to it, but because I'm not of age, it is classified as statutory rape. Lex confirms in multiple messages to 17-year-old me that he has had underage and that he is proud of it. Messages like, "Yes, baby, I love that. I love when you sit on I wish just like that gif I sent that I could eat your in a wet swimsuit," confirming that yes, he has made me sit. Or messages like, "I love how you move your love when we would just try hard, baby." And I like August 31st because that was the day we called you. This particular message is important to me because this is Lex Adrian I Juan confirming to 17-year-old me that we have known each other for the past two August 31st. Lex is confirming that we did start talking when I was 15 years old on August 31st, 2016, as well as confirming the first day he penetrated August 31st, 2017, when I was 16 years old. Throughout his video, Lex, MrTLexify, claims that he did not have any underage. It's a complete lie. Lex is a minor. The DMs from Lex don't end there. The DMs get nastier and weirder. Lex was upset him, and anyone who has been a fan of Lex for a long time can attest to that, because he used to frequently talk about zombie streams. Now that this to a girl, he would send me unsolicited even though I had told Lex before that I didn't like it when he sent me. In this screenshot, Lex says, "Baby, I'm sorry for sending it, but like, I can't help it. I love you and I'm so turned on." Lex knew that I didn't like the next morning, I made a problem out of it, and I told him he crossed the boundary with me yet again. To which Lex responded with, "I'm sorry about the blue and I know you don't like them. I just wanted to show you I'm all for you, but I don't know how. Maybe being in a really good, loving relationship could have shown me that you were all for me. You didn't need to send me it all for me." Lex would make me uncomfortable and try to get me. This was Lex's way of saying. Lex would send me messages like, "Suck it, baby. You know you want to. Practice on a banana for daddy." Or, "Take that shower and think of me for nudes." During the summer of 2018, Lex claims that he was in Thailand for the entire summer. That is completely wrong. Lex was not in Thailand for the summer of 2018. He was in San Diego, California, living out of an Airbnb with me for 3 months. While I was 17 years old, he stayed with me in California for 3 months because how long he is a Canadian citizen can be in the United States without a visa or citizenship. Stayed with me from June 2018 to August 2018, as proven by these photos of us. Lex says that he spent his summer in Thailand during 2018 because he's trying to attempt to cover up the fact that he was spending his summer with his 17-year-old minor girlfriend, where he was second exploiting her. Here in these messages, you can see Lex talking about how he's gonna book an Airbnb for 3 months, with the original dates being June 8th to August 24th. After Lex booked the Airbnb, he messaged me stuff like, "Can't wait to out of you. Daddy's little hole. Can't wait to just you." That summer is where all of these.
Yo, what? Uh,
Now I'm gonna get into the blackmailing, exploitation,
This is
and
about
abuse
right here.
allegations that Lex
Damn, I ain't even
has
peep.
made against me. Throughout Lex's video, it is very clear that he's willing to lie and manipulate conversations and hope to make me look bad. For starters, he shows text messages in his video at 4 minutes and 26 seconds, claiming that I was blackmailing him after I found out he was texting teenagers again. And then at 9 minutes and 10 seconds into his video, he brings up me blackmailing him in order for him to not leave me for other girls. This is completely false. I didn't care if Lex ever left me for other girls. What I did care about was him trying young girls. I wanted to stop that. I didn't want Lex to continue his history that he had with me on other girls. Lex does this in an attempt to cover up the cheating allegations that everybody brought up from this Instagram post in 2019. I made this Instagram post when I was 18 years old. I just turned 18 years old, and I found out that Lex was cheating on me because I went through his phone. And when I went through his phone, the cheating messages went back to years and years because he didn't clean his phone. He didn't decide to delete the messages of him with those girls. I made that Instagram post when I was very sad and upset, but because Lex is minor, he knew how to manipulate me back into a relationship with him, and we continued dating after he sent me a couple apologies. While Lex admits that yes, he was texting other girls in 2019 as he was dating me, and he does confirm that he did cheat on me as I was a minor, Lex uses messages of me from 2023, last year, to try and spin his cheating on me. Lex is trying to make it seem like I was going to expose him for leaving me. The few text messages Lex decides to show are clearly not full images, and they're clearly manipulated. You can tell so because of the occasional I message that's in between each text message. If you guys are not aware, when you delete messages from a while ago, instead of putting the date that the messages happened, they replace it with the word I message above the time differences. If Lex supposedly has nothing to hide, why did you go through great efforts of deleting text messages between us to fabricate different conversations? While it looks like I'm blackmailing Lex in the images he manipulates, he conveniently left out that before these messages even occurred, and before I retaliated for myself, Lex had been blackmailing me for a couple months by threatening me to take away the roof over my head to an apartment that both of our names were on. I only started retaliating back to Lex when I realized that he was also threatening me and also blackmailing me so easily. Lex was threatening me with something that my name was legally on and something that he could legally not threaten me with. Lex could not legally ever kick me out of my own apartment, and he knew that. Lex used his threats as a tactic to scare me and a tactic for me to act how he wanted me to act, even though we weren't dating at the time. I'd like to address the way that Lex and I started living with each other. Lex claims that I wanted to live with him because he had a nice apartment now, but the truth is that our living circumstances were abnormal. Lex needed me to have his apartment. Since Lex is a Canadian citizen and he didn't have a visa to be in the United States, Lex could only stay in the US for 3 months at a time, or else he had a chance of being deported back to Canada and denied back entry into America. Lex says throughout his video that he could not be here because of his dog or something, or he could not be here because of something happening in Canada, but in reality, Lex could not be in the United States because he reached his limit of 3 months and he could no longer legally be here. For Lex to even be able to rent his apartment in Los Angeles, California, he needed a social security number and somebody with a good credit score. As a Canadian citizen, Lex did not have a social security number. Lex used my social security number on his applications for everything related to this apartment. My name was even on the lease, and I had to sign multiple papers for Lex to be able to lease the apartment. All of the utility bills for the apartment were under my name because you need a social security number for those too. It was never that I wanted to live with Lex because his apartment was nice all of a sudden. It was that Lex was using my information to lease an apartment, and that my name was on the apartment, and that legally that apartment was also mine. Lex invited me to live with him. Lex could not have that apartment without me. Lex claims that I blackmailed him to exploit him and proceeds to show purchases that Lex made on me that were entirely consensual and that he bought with his own willpower. As stated before, Lex promised to pay for my lifestyle as a way for him to isolate me more. Lex's poor financial decisions are not my fault. Lex has proven to me multiple times as we dated that he is poor with money. Lex would spend absurd amount of money on Airbnbs and hotels just so that he could have a nice place to have me. Lex would spend absurd amount of money on food, alcohol, marijuana, and would spend absurd amount of money as well as gamble his own money on crypto. Lex's experience with gambling his money on crypto is the reason that he has gone broke so many times. Lex even admits it himself in these DMs, confessing that he was actually broke to me and he lost all of his money due to a crypto downfall in Dogecoin or something. I'm assuming that Lex didn't want to admit his purchases on OnlyFans and Shutterfly and Patreon and Fansly because he doesn't want to be exposing this as a way to lie to his current girlfriend so that she doesn't find out. Nonetheless, I'll double down again and show proof and talk about how as I was dating Lex was buying a plethora of OnlyFans, Fanslys, and Patreons. Lex had been buying OnlyFans memberships since 2022, and he was purchasing for advertising themselves as freshly turned 18-year-olds to women who advertise themselves with teenage aesthetics. Some screenshots of Lex's bank statements during the months of January, February, and March 2023. Lex was going negative every month, and Lex was somehow managing to spend $30,000 a month every
Crazy.
month. He was spending this money to fuel his lavish lifestyle to support his bad addictions. Found out that Lex was going after barely legal teen girls, as well as paying for the same night that Lex put his hands around my neck for the second time, as I stated in my Google document. At 9 minutes and 42 seconds into his video, Lex finally addressed the abuse allegations that I have against him, but he uses more lies in a way to manipulate his evidence to better fit his narrative. This is the Airbnb that Lex first choked me in. Lex cannot physically prove that we were at this Airbnb last year in 2023, like he claims, because we were not. Lex claims that I was abusing him so bad or something in his video, and even says that he could not leave because he was broke after spending $12,000 on an Airbnb, and he was away from his home country of Canada. That is when Lex also tries to add in that I went on to destroy the Airbnb. Both of these claims are false. I also included some photos of myself crying during the aftermath of being domestically abused. In my document I wrote, "No fight will ever compare to the one that we had on the night of March 14th, 2021. This was the night that Lex first choked me by my neck with his bare hands. On March 14th, 2021, Lex and I were going at it verbally. I was rolling a joint on a tray and sitting down on a couch of the Airbnb. Lex was getting heated with me as I was calmly rolling my tray, and during the argument, Lex stopped mid-sentence and goes, 'I paid for that.' Lex lunged forward to me and proceeded to try to take the tray out of my hands. He fought with me for about 5 seconds before the tray inevitably broke in half. I threw the broken tray at Lex's back out of self-defense since he had just lunged at me, which caused
That's
Lex
not
to turn around
self-defense.
and tackle me to the ground. My 6'1" boyfriend, Lex Adrian,
I ain't gonna lie. You throw something at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He turned around. He turned his back. He was walking away. That's not self-defense. I'm sorry. That's assault.
Krista tackled me to the ground, sat on top of me, and put both of his hands around my neck. Lex still confirms in his video and his Snapchat video over text and in a physical letter that he has choked me. Even though I don't have a physical bruise or anything to show that, Lex has admitted multiple times that he has choked me. With a quick Google search, it is found that only 50% of victims who are strangled have any visible injuries to the neck or the head. 15% of people who have been strangled show signs of bruising. It would take a lot of pressure for Lex to bruise my neck just by choking me. The act of choking is reducing one's oxygen levels and making their heart stop. Lex then addresses the second time he choked me, but says it was staged. After I went through Lex's phone and found out he was texting other young girls, I confronted him and woke him up, telling him how wrong he was for going after these girls. I repeatedly asked Lex if I was not young enough anymore, and I repeatedly asked him why he was going after girls so young. Lex felt threatened by my words, and he knew that I saw him for who he truly is. That is why Lex attacked me that night and threatened to end my life on the spot. Lex angrily woke up, pounced me again for the second time in my life, and hung my head off the edge of the bed. Lex shouted out, "I'm going to kill you," as he continued to hang my head off the bed, causing the blood to rush to my head faster, and he applied all of his weight on top of me. In the moment, I decided that the only way to get Lex off of me was by telling him that I was recording this. And I didn't just say, like, "I'm recording this." I said, "I'm recording this." It was very hard to get out. I will never forget the moment I stood up after Lex had choked me. I was foaming from the mouth. I could barely breathe. I was panting for air. My heart was beating so fast because Lex could have and was about to kill me that night. After I yelled out, "I'm recording this," Lex immediately got off of me because he knew he was doing something wrong. This is another night of my life that I will never ever forget. I will always regret not filing a police report. I will always regret not calling the police over when it happened. Unfortunately, my phone was not recording Lex choking me. I only said it because I knew it was the only way he'd get off of me. Even though I don't have a video of Lex physically choking me, and I wish I did so that I could show you guys and prove that this actually happened to me. Lex acknowledges in his own video that I blackmailed him with a potential video of him choking me, insinuating that Lex was scared of the potential video of him choking me coming out. Lex was scared because he knew that he has choked me. Once again, why would I stage Lex choking me and then not show the staged video? His claims against me don't make sense.
As far as the cheating go, right, about Ren cheating, wasn't that from supposedly from Ren's diary? Apparently Ren was talking about cheating on Lex with a bunch of youngin' boys or whatever. So this is what she responded to right here.
To go to extreme extents to keep his dirty secrets hidden. Despite being a self-proclaimed Christian, Lex has had no problem harassing me, my mother, and lying about my name. Lex has attempted to ruin my reputation and attempted to take away credibility from me so that he doesn't have to face the consequences for what he did to me. Since Lex knows that he is guilty, and since Lex knows that I have strong evidence against him, proving that he as a young fangirl, proving that he me as a young fangirl, and proceeded to date me as a minor, Lex uses his video and any tweet made against me to try to frame me as the person who had any appropriate relationship with a minor. Lex makes up so many lies about me in his video, many of them involving minors. I am incredibly disgusted that Lex went as far as lying about me having an inappropriate relationship relating to 5 minors. Even though Lex didn't provide any proof of me with any minor, people still believed him. Even though Lex used photos of me with a girlfriend and a friend that I met in college, people still believed Lex when he said that. Lex knew what he was doing when he made up these twisted lies. He knew what he was doing when he manipulated those photos of me with my adult friend. His proof that I was cheating on him with these 5 minors is a text from Anna, my ex-roommate, where she says that I cheated on him with 5 guys all together. Nowhere in Anna's message to Lex does she say that all of these men are minors or that they're in high school.
Because that information came from your diary. All right, like, come on. This is what I'm saying. Like, you see how, I mean, it seemed like Lex was hiding stuff too. It seemed like she hiding stuff too. What I will say is, in comparison, she seems more credible, but that's not really much. That's not really saying much in comparison to Lex. Like, you know what I'm saying, out of this 2 hours, I'm pretty sure you could have trimmed out like 30 minutes of this. Word, you could have trimmed out 30 minutes of this. You know what I'm saying, all of this information isn't necessary, and all this information doesn't even seem to be accurate. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you lying, but it either seems like you not responding correctly, or, you know what I'm saying, you trying to fabricate something.
Either way, Lex misinterprets the text message that Anna sent him, and he is going out of his way to falsely frame me as a pedophile and groomer because Lex is that person. Lex going as far and lying about something very serious goes to show you how guilty Lex really feels about the entire situation. How sick do you have to be to lie about me and say that I did stuff?
You're not debunking his claims though, you just saying that he's lying. Like, this is, you mean, like, you see how when it came to any other claim, she had substantial evidence, she had screenshots, she was on topic, she wasn't really talking in circles. Right here in this chapter, so far, all she doing is talking in circles, and it's not even like she's bringing up points. Like, I'm saying, she's just talking in circles, repeating the same sentence after sentence after sentence.
Stuff with minors. That is so untrue. That is so hurtful. I've had so many people tell me that I need to be in jail, that I need to do this, that I need to kill myself, that something
You might be a criminal though, you know what I'm saying? You might.
needs to happen to me because of Lex's false allegations. Lex goes as far as saying that she lured them into my place in Los Angeles to take promiscuous photos of her in exchange for, which is truly a disturbing claim to make. This is a time where proof is so important. These allegations that Lex is throwing at me are so important. It is so important to provide proof. Yet Lex is throwing these around willy-nilly.
The proof is your diary. You know what I'm saying? Talk about who Lawrence is. Talk about who these 5 people is. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you even know who these 5 people are? You didn't even say that you don't know who these 5 people are. You didn't denounce who Lawrence or anybody else is. You know what I'm saying? It seems like something that you should do if it's not true.
The people who Lex is trying to use against me and trying to frame as minors are adults. These are adults with lives outside of Lex's drama. And Lex thinks that he can use my friends as pawns for evidence to manipulate people?
That's what we thought that you were doing with TSP, JC, and knowing all them. For all we know, that might be true. I mean, like, y'all both could be doing it.
Lex doubles down, calling me a cheater, saying that I cheated on him with my high school classmate Marlo. This is the guy who is the minor in the photo. Again, it is so disturbing that Lex is using his name and bringing these people into Lex's own drama so that Lex can attempt to save his own. Marlo and my adult friends, they didn't ask to be a part of this. They didn't ask to be used as references in Lex's drama. Lex shows some DMs of me talking about my high school friend Marlo as proof that I was cheating on Lex, but the dates of the text show November 20th, 2018. All of them have the year 2018, meaning that I was a minor. Lex is once again admitting indirectly that he was dating me as a minor, because how are you gonna make these claims that I was cheating on you even though I'm a minor? How are you going to make these claims that I was cheating on you, but we also didn't date and we also didn't do anything underage, when I'm literally underage in these photos and you're claiming that your underage girlfriend is cheating on you? It is clear in the text that Lex shows of me talking about Marlo that I was simply updating my adult boyfriend on what his high school girlfriend was up to with her friends outside of high school.
This chapter almost over, and all she doing is playing damage control. If you ask me, this whole chapter is damage control. You know what I'm saying? So where the comment at? Where the comment at? All right. She somewhat refers to the text, but the diary, she doesn't refer to the diary at all. At all. Probably not going to court because they know they both going to get the cell. Something like that. I said in the beginning, could just be an error. Her first man, she was born 98, 17. Crazy, right? Crazy, right? I tried to leave that alone. No, you making sense. You're making sense. And this right here is what could ruin her credibility. This is what I meant by all of this isn't necessary. You know what I'm saying? She could have trimmed out a lot of this. If she really wanted this to, you know what I'm saying? But the truth always comes to light, and they always expose themselves. So it's like, okay, you could be proving that Lex did some things, but you could also be proving that you're guilty of those very same things. It's like a Bonnie and Clyde type thing. That's what it sounds like to me. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, Lex has some, but you guys too. Let's say Lex did groom you into doing all this stuff. Eventually, over time, that's going to be her personality, right? That's the way that she's going to be. She's going, hurt people, you know what I'm saying? She's going to take after, what do they call that? What do they call that? Stockholm syndrome? You know what I'm saying? Would she have to take accountability for that then, or would she plead insanity? At this point, is she taking accountability for her actions? Which she did, because she at points in this video, she has already taken accountability for certain stuff. But it's like with this, seems like she playing damage control, y'all. I don't know.
Lex trying to frame my high school friendship with a classmate as pedophilia or anything similar is pure evil. I was a minor. He was also a minor. There is nothing illegal about that.
What about the other four?
My relationship with you, Lex, is illegal. My relationship where I was a minor dating you as an adult is considered pedophilia.
And you you willingly participated in that. You were a willing participant in that. Mind you, if you already took accountability for that, you admitted to hiding certain information from certain people. Certain people around both of you already, were raising eyebrows. Like I'm saying, this whole chapter just does not make you look good. This does not make Lex look any worse. This whole entire chapter is all we knew as far as from Lex's video. And still, after watching this, that's all I know from Lex's video. And you did not add any information to that. If anything, you may have helped prove his point. If I'm hearing this correctly, there's a possibility I'm not. But if I'm hearing this correctly, it sounds like you participated in the very same actions that Lex did. Maybe because he, quote, made you that way. But I mean, like, you said that you willingly and understood that. Like, oh my Lord, man. It's like a cycle. But you was okay with it and you knew. It's like you had the opportunity to save yourself. You had the opportunity to get out of that, right? But not only did you get caught up, you know what I'm saying? You may have been victimized, but you wound up doing more than that. You wound up embracing that almost and turning into the very same thing that you were trying to get away from. Now, there are psychological developments that can be used, you know what I'm saying? But that wouldn't affect the things that you think it would. It wouldn't just make you get off scot-free. It wouldn't make you innocent. That doesn't prove your innocence. It doesn't. If anything, it just determines where the X falls. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I'm saying. That's damage control. You don't want the X to fall on you, or at least not on your neck. Maybe, if you can lose a toe, I mean, lose a foot is better than, you know what I'm saying, losing your head. I get it. But at the same time, it's still going to hurt and it's still going to hit you. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, to say if we're not metaphorically speaking about an ex, you know, somebody going to take accountability somewhere. Somebody's going to get sentenced. If not sentenced, then you're going to have to take some type of accountability somewhere, either in the eyes of society or the eyes of the law. You know what I'm saying? And if this is your only chance and you took your only chance to respond with this 2 hours, you know what I'm saying, maybe because you're never going to be able to say nothing ever again, or who knows, you got the comment turned off. It's a lot of stuff going on surrounding us that we're not speaking about. Like, I'm saying, I'm trying to keep it on topic or whatever, but, you know what I mean? We got smart chat in the building. Well, we got critical thinking chat in the building. Also, if it's true that she's 16, those photos, she basically uploaded, exactly. Bruh, I'm gonna have to zoom in on so many parts of this video, bruh, because I ain't trying to get caught up with nothing. My dog Luna's just, you know what I mean, got striked or whatever for, you know what I mean. I don't know if I'm even gonna be able to keep this stream up. That's the reason I'm screen recording so much of it.
Once again, I'd like to double down and reiterate that Lex Adrian Iwan has completely lied about me and is doing this to ruin my reputation. These false claims about me having inappropriate relationships with 5 minors are extremely hurtful.
You only mentioned one. You only mentioned one though. What about the other 4? Like, it's 46 minutes in this. You had more than enough time to mention the other 4. Come on.
I mentioned so much of my reputation online. I have never done anything appropriate with, nor do I target like Lex claims I do. Lex is the one with the history of targeting barely legal girls as of recent. Lex is
barely legal. It's still legal. But as far as your diary goes, they were all minors. Now, if you're disproving one of them, right? Let's just take that as if it was true, right? Let's just say whatever you said about Marlo was true, right? What about these other 4? Speak on that.
The one with the history of text fangirls, me and Alex. Lex Adrian Iwan, MrTLexify, even uses my full name, email addresses, and shows all of my social media platforms in his video because he wanted to blast me for people.
Was it true though? Because in this hour and 15 minutes, you kind of proved a lot of them points. You know what I'm saying? You didn't prove a lot of people to be wrong. You maybe proved to us that Lex maybe not the person that we think he is. Maybe you disproved some other things. Maybe you answered a few questions. But that don't make you innocent, man. That don't mean that the comments is wrong. The internet is undefeated, bro. The internet gonna win every single time. The internet lives forever.
Resulting in nobody being able to see my Google documents with the truth about what Lex had actually done to me. This was a very unfortunate thing for me, and I'm really sad that I had to go private.
Hold up, my fault. We got a smart comments in the building. Hold up. Disable comments. Having the comments turned off on her video bothers me. I understand online bullying is a thing, but I would be curious what other people think, regardless if it's good or not. Exactly. Now, what I will say, this joint got 20,000 views, 300 likes. I'm saying, usually by the time you got 20,000 views, it'd be like 700. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Maybe that dislike button went to work. I don't know why she did that. It was not needed, considering people are still going to say things to her on Twitter. Just wanted to see if anyone pointed anything out, like, how are you doing? Exactly. Lex says 2 years age gap. Reagan says 3 years age gap. 2 years, 10 months, close to 3, but annoying here, running up numbers back and forth. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. That's important. That's actually important because that was the premise of the case to begin with. You know what I'm saying? But now, I'm not even worried about no age gap, bro. Because the age gap can be justified. It can be justified. Not saying that it is, but it can be. Depending on the circumstances, it can be. But everything else that's being said, you can't justify that. You can't justify that. All you can do is either disprove that or own up to that. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why you got to be honest, because there's only 2 options. You either going to tell the truth or you going to tell the truth. And the truth is either it did happen or it didn't happen. If it didn't happen, tell the truth. If it did happen, tell the truth, because that's always going to come out to be. Yeah, you can hide as much as possible, but I mean, like, what if at the end of the day you still got to do 5 to 10? Because you ask me, if this goes to court and all that, that's 5 to 10 minimum.
Private, and people will think that, oh, she's a coward. Yeah, she really did do what Lex says she did. No, I didn't actually do what Lex claims I did. None of that is true. I went private because the death threats and everything were so awful. I tried to tweet, and anything I tried to tweet out and anything I tried to use to defend myself was immediately turned sour, was immediately filled with so much hate. My Twitter was no longer a safe space for me to defend myself or prove myself. My Twitter was just a place where I was getting flamed. It is so unfortunate that I had to go private, and it is so unfortunate that for 2 weeks, people have been unable to see my documents, and people for 2 weeks have been unable to see my side of the story. It doesn't end there though. Lex's lies about me don't end there in his video. On top of speaking on behalf of 5 imaginary minors and making insane allegations of me raping them and hurting them, Lex dragged in my only ever ex-boyfriend into this mess. I've only dated 2 guys. I dated Lex for 2 years and one other guy for a couple months. Lex knows that this is my only other relationship, and Lex was incredibly jealous that I had another relationship. I do not have a history of going for younger guys or guys who are younger than me, because I don't do that. And quite frankly, the kinks that Lex had impacted my life with don't really relate to younger guys. He gave me a daddy kink. Lex introduced DDLG into my life. My dating history was on the older side of men because of Lex's impact, because of the kinks that he introduced into my life. I'd like to clarify that my ex-boyfriend was 18 years old and I was 21 years old while we dated. Again, I'd like to clarify that we met organically through a friend, and I did not seek.
Is 18 and 21 not a 3-year age yet? Is that not fresh? Is that not fresh? Is that not the same thing that she's accusing Lex of? Is that not the same thing? Some of them girls was 18, barely 18, but 18 is 18. At the end of the day, I'm not saying that, but to Lex, 18 is 18. You saying 18? You're not saying if he just turned 18. You're not saying none of that. You 21. He 18. He just graduated high school. She quiet now. You see, she quiet now. She quiet now. She ain't gonna press the play button and start talking. She ain't gonna defend herself now. The death threats were awful. If she did that, if she did what Lex said she did, then I have no sympathy for. You mean, like, it's crazy because although she is saying certain stuff, she's also saying certain stuff about herself too. So it's like, I don't know, bro. She just as guilty as Lex, bro. She just as guilty as Lex. Lex might have a few extra charges, but that's 5 to 10. That's 5 to 10. You better tell your lawyer that. That's 5 to 10 at minimum. And California don't play. That's California don't play. That's the crazy thing. The only reason, well, not even the only reason, but an additional reason to why Lex might get additional charges is because he got an international case. He's from Canada. He wasn't even on visa at the time. And he had a fake ID. Word? This the millionaire. Still the same thing though. Like, at the end of the day, you can say this about both of them, regardless. You can say this vice versa, regardless. And that's my whole thing. They both guilty. They both exposing the truth. If you put a whole compilation together of every single statement that everybody made, everything the same. It's a whole lot of victims in this. Everybody might be a victim. There might be a few criminals, but everybody might be a victim. That's nasty work.
Him out. When we met, he was 17 years old and I was 20 years old. We did not immediately start dating because I was still in a...
And me personally, I'm here for the truth. I'm not here just to defend Lex, man. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I was never really defending Lex. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Lex had a point. Yeah, it seemed like it sounded good, but we listened to everybody. We ain't just watch Lex's video. What can you say specifically that, one, hasn't already been said, and two, isn't something that you've done yourself, regardless if it was prior to me and Lex or after me and Lex? This sounds very familiar. You know what I'm saying? This sounds very familiar. If we supposed to be blaming Lex or whatever, or if we supposed to be forgiving Lex or whatever, then we either supposed to be blaming Ren or forgiving Ren. You know what I'm saying? Point is, whatever Lex is guilty of, she's just as guilty. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep saying it. You know what I'm saying? Because she's admitting to this stuff too. She said that she acknowledged that, and she knew prior. You know what I'm saying? She was talking about Lex premeditating certain stuff, which might be true. It also seemed like Ren was premeditating certain stuff, which might be true. And you can tell from this.
To clarify that my ex-boyfriend was 18 years old and I was 21 years old while we dated. Again, I'd like to clarify that we met organically through a friend and I did not seek him out. When we met, he was 17 years old and I was 20 years old.
Okay, so y'all met through a friend. Your friend set you up with a 17-year-old and you was cool with that. She just admitted that her friend set her up with a 17-year-old. She was full minded of that and she was cool with that. She gave it a little bit of time, wait for him to be 18. Same thing that Lex did. Only difference is, did Lex meet you through a friend? That would be very, very ironic if Lex met you through a friend too. But nah, all this sounds very familiar. It sounds just like Lex's story. It sounds just like it. So if Lex guilty, then you guilty. But if we forgiving Lex, you gotta forgive her too.
We did not immediately start dating because I was still in a relationship with Lex. Lex says that I met my ex-boyfriend in April of 2021. This is a lie. Lex is lying about this because he's trying to cover up the fact that he sent me the letter in April of 2021. I did not meet my ex-boyfriend in April 2021. I was still dating Lex. I met my ex-boyfriend around July 2021. Lex even uses a photo in his video of my ex-boyfriend and I from the day that we met, confirming the date that we met and also confirming that we met through a coworker because the caption of the photo says, "Thanks Max for introducing us." It is abundantly clear that I did not target a minor the way Lex claims. My ex-boyfriend was...
But you was full-minded that was a minor. You was full-minded that was a minor. You had full-mindedness. And Reagan just admitted that, and Reagan just admitted to the same thing. Not just with Lex, but also with another person. Instead of Reagan being 17 this time, she's 20 this time. Just like Lex. Shit crazy. What goes around comes around like a motherfucker.
Not someone that I sought out for on a dating app
on.
and then told I wanted to marry.
Give me a
My
second.
ex-boyfriend was not somebody that I told happy 18th birthday to and then immediately followed up with asking him out on a date. Unlike Lex has clearly done to...
All right, even though you ain't do that, you knew him when he was 17 with the intentions of dating him though. You had the full intention of dating him though. While you were still with Lex. Still had you mean? Like what? Same thing that Lex was doing. Lex was going after 18-year-olds while he was with you. You going after 17-year-olds while you with him. So the same thing that you complain about him doing, you doing. Now what I'm gonna say is y'all both wrong. That's crazy work. Young boy was hype. He was like, "Oh, yo, you 20? I ain't even graduate yet. You want to come to my You went to his graduation? Or did he graduate already? Was he already graduated from high school? Crazy work. So is this two minors that she's referring to, and then there's 3 other minors that she still didn't refer to?
Various other 18-year-old girls while he is 26 years old. Everything Lex says about my relationship with my only ever ex-boyfriend is a complete lie. Lex was not in the relationship and he was never present for any memory he made up about my ex-boyfriend and I. No one's parents were lied to, no one had the police called on them. Lawrence's family were all so sweet to me from the moment I was his friend to even when I transitioned into his girlfriend. His family was truly like a second family to me. We went on multiple family outings together, had multiple family dinners together, and were very familiar with each other.
Sound premeditated. Seemed like you was filling it out. Trying to see if it was boyfriend material or not. That's what it seemed like, because you said that's what you was looking for from Lex, right? This is the same exact stuff you was looking for from Lex. Oh, I just wanted to go on long park. I just wanted to go on long walks in the park. I just wanted to chill and enjoy time and watch movies. And that's exactly what you did with a young man right there, right? You 20 years old, going on family outings. Well, if he was a girl and you were a boy, I don't think they would have been too accepting of that. But because he's a boy and you're a girl, they don't really care too much.
It's really hurtful to see Lex try to use the only other relationship in my life against me, knowing that Lex's mom
Yeah,
has
she's
never
reading off
liked
the
me.
script.
She was always rude to me on multiple occasions. Lex's mom never knew my age, the way Lex claims that. My ex-boyfriend's mom didn't know my age. Lex went behind his mom's back multiple times to fly me out to Canada and sneak me into her own house without her knowing. Everything that Lex has been accusing me of has somehow been what Lex has done to me. Making lies about domestic abuse and making lies about suicide is not funny, and it's not.
Yeah, yo, it's something real fishy about her and dudes, man. She need to start dating girls, cause like every story that you hear about her involving a male, it don't end well. Yeah, there's a lot of evidence in here. There's a lot of evidence in here that if it was in court, it would be hard to doubt that. I tell you that. If this was presented in court, it would be hard to doubt that. The only way that you'll be able to doubt what Reagan is saying is because of the stuff that Reagan is saying, and then the stuff that she's not saying. It seemed like she's hiding stuff, and it seemed like she's playing damage control. It seemed like she's fabricating some stuff and not telling the whole story. So it's pretty simple to, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty simple to me. Pretty simple to me. Even though it's a lot of gray area, it's because the gray area is just all the lies. That's all it is. Nobody want to tell the truth about that. That's the reason why it's a gray area. It's one of them areas where it's like, you gotta know what you're getting into when you get there. And usually the people that know what they're getting into is criminals. They do all their research and background and all that and be like, all right, so I know I can get away with this. I know I can get away with that. And it's like, why would you even want to go through that work where you just go for somebody that's a year older? What is going to be the difference? I personally wouldn't know.
Told them that he feels like Noah is using him before. I don't think that Lex understands that Noah never needed to use Lex, that Noah always had a much bigger platform than Lex, and that Noah had much bigger reach than Lex. At no point in Noah's career, especially up until last year, which is when Lex told this message to his mods, did Noah ever need to use you. In his video, Lex says that his online friends Noah, JC, Pat, and Liam dropped him at the whim of a hat, and he is trying to insinuate that they dropped him over the serious allegations against him, when in reality, his friends dropped him years ago for their own personal reasons. Here's more proof of Lex venting to me, as well as venting to his own fans / Twitch mods about how he has no friends and how none of the guys in the zombies community talk to him anymore. In his video, Lex tries to take a personal jab at JC Backfire, someone who Lex has actively hated on for years now. Lex tries to frame JC Backfire as a cheater by using messages of me as proof. Lex claims throughout his video that I cannot be trusted, yet when it comes to JC, he demands that I be a trusted source that he is cheating on his girlfriend. Lex says that he is disgusted by JC's actions or whatever, and we all know that Lex is just bluffing for the camera once again, because if JC cheating on his girlfriend was actually a big deal to you and actually bothered to you, you would have said something about it outside of your own cheating allegations, Lex. Truth be told, none of Lex's friends actually know me. None of them have ever spoke to me for more than 5 minutes, and none of them have ever hung out with me personally one-on-one. They only knew about me from whatever Lex was feeding them. When Lex was catching on that none of his friends in Los Angeles liked him anymore, he started blaming it on JC, telling me things like, I feel like JC spread some us, or nobody uses the group chats I'm in. It's like they all disown me or something. Should I DM JC and be like, hey, Leo unfollowed me. I wonder what's up with that. Or even, I know JC told him something that made him not like me, which hurts even more because I don't even care about JC right now. Yeah, you clearly don't care about JC, which is why you included him in your foes video on me. Lex concluded in his video a false testimony from my old roommate and ex-best friend, Anna Zendel, also known as Jello Anna on all platforms. He shows a screenshot that shows a text from Anna where she claims that while she was living with me, I was taking pictures of knowledge or consent and that I was selling them. Anna goes as far as saying that I was exploiting her and that I even laughed about it. Anna adds a second message to Lex and tells him that she relates to him because she thinks she is a victim of my mind games and manipulation. Anna's lying.
Crazy, she only said Pat name one time and that was it. She ain't really mentioned nothing else about Pat because TSP, there's a lot of speculation around that, about that relationship, but hold on real quick. Never understood the JC and Noah outlash. It's just because it was something fun to do. I mean, it's just fun to make fun of them. Yeah, he never said anything about, I mean, she should be trusted. I mean, it was just an insinuation that like, if that's what it is, then you might as well take this with it. Like, you know what I'm saying, it's like, it's being selective. So like, why are you being selective? And she knows that she's being selective right now. And she might like girls, who knows? But yeah, no, man, why ain't she bring up Patty? Why ain't she bring up Patty Mills, huh? She leaving a lot of vital information. This is a 2-hour video. 2-hour video, took a sweet time. She said she was working on this video for 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure there's so much stuff that I'm not even mentioning. So much stuff I'm not even mentioning. That's crazy work to me, man. Yeah, softly, man. You ain't really looking too good in the second half of this video. You dropped 50 in the first hour. Halftime hit, you ain't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like when she was making that allegation, she was on fire. But now she trying to defend herself. It ain't looking too good. Life is looking in her eyes. It says a lot to me. It could be psychological. Or it could be her personality. Or it could be psychological that affected her personality. Or it could just be who she is.
She's a complete two-faced, lying, just lying. As an actual victim, it was astonishing to see her make such claims. It was as if Anna was taunting me by saying this stuff. Considering she lived with me for 6 months and she saw how Lex was affecting my life daily, even before all this drama hit the internet. Anna knew that Lex groomed me, and Anna knew that Lex knowingly decided to side with my abuser. And it's really hard for me to come to terms with that because I thought that Anna was my best friend. Nonetheless, Anna's lying about me. So I never once took pictures of Anna. I never once took pictures of Anna without her consent. I have never once sold images of Anna to anyone ever. I never touched Anna without her consent. Anna is a 21-year-old adult woman. Anna and I know that she is trying to manipulate the reality that she herself sold videos and photos of herself to a man on Snapchat. Anna met the Snapchat buyer through me because I had casually brought it up one day to Anna that I was making a few $100s on Snapchat. She became intrigued by the money and she wanted to know how she could partake in it too. I asked the buyer if he would be interested in talking to Anna, and he said yes, under the circumstances that we were sold as a package deal. Anna was comfortable as being sold as a package deal with me, and after his
Look at this. Who made that group chat name? This is crazy. This is crazy. Lex and Ren were in cahoots? Let's rewind that. Rewind the whole thing. Rewind that. Mind you, she called Anna a liar. We're gonna rewind this whole chapter.
Outside of the zombies community and forming a personal friendship with Jason Blundell. Lex concluded in his video a false testimony from my old roommate and ex-best friend, Anna Zendel, also known as Jello Anna on all platforms. He shows a screenshot that shows a text from Anna where she claims that while she was living with me, I was taking pictures of her knowledge or consent and that I was selling them. Anna goes as far as saying that I was exploiting her and that I even laughed about it. Well, Anna's lying.
They out here complaining about sexual exploitation. Mind you, both of them is complaining about exploitation. I'm saying you got Reagan over here talking about multiple other people exploited her, and they're talking about Reagan exploited her. Let's see how this all unravels.
It was as if Anna was taunting me by saying this stuff. It was honestly a complete shock to me that Anna went out of her way to reach out to Lex, considering she lived with me for 6 months and she saw how Lex was affecting my life daily, even before all this drama hit the internet. Anna knew that Lex was my abuser, and it's really hard for me to come to terms with that because I thought that Anna was my best friend. Nonetheless, Anna's lying about me. I never once took pictures of Anna. Without her consent. I have never once sold images of Anna to anyone ever. I never touched Anna without her consent. Anna is a 21-year-old adult woman.
After, I'm saying, I see why she said this first and then told the story about being a package deal. Because, when you learn that she has a package deal with this very same woman, would it be far-fetched to say that maybe they were taking pictures of each other? And what if Reagan had more than one buyer and she only introduced Anna to one of them? Is that too far-fetched to say? Am I reaching?
Anna and I know that she is trying to manipulate the reality that she herself sold videos and photos of herself to a man on Snapchat. Anna met the Snapchat buyer through me because I had casually brought it up one day to Anna that I was making a few $100s on Snapchat through sexting. Anna became intrigued.
You casually brought this up. Anna being a grown woman. You really think she with that? What made you think that? How did you test those waters? How did you set that atmosphere to just casually bring that up?
Intrigued by the money, and she wanted to know how she could partake in it too.
Anna became intrigued by the money. She only thinking about the money. And you knew that she was intrigued by the money.
Asking if he would be interested in talking to Anna, and he said yes, under the circumstances that we were sold as a package deal. Anna was comfortable as being sold as a package deal with me, and after his confirmation, I made a Snapchat group chat with Anna, myself, and the buyer. We did our first Snapchat session as a threesome with the buyer on March 7th. I made a Snapchat group chat with Anna, myself, and the buyer. We did our first Snapchat session as with the buyer on March 7th, as you can tell by the date that the group was created. We both...
That's a confession. How you gonna call Anna a liar and then confess to... So what if Anna is doing this stuff? That doesn't mean that she wanted to, right? Right? The same way that Lex taught you in this stuff. You talked Anna in this stuff by casually bringing it up. But how did you test them waters? You learned a lot from Lex, huh? And for the money, yeah. See, look, man, she wasn't in for the money from Lex. She don't care. She was in it for something else from Lex. She actually into this stuff. She didn't care about the bread. She really wanted to do that stuff with Lex. She just took advantage of it. Better anger late, better. She was trying to play the victim. Now we all saw that live stream. She thought she won. In front of abuse on stream, she thought she won. Or just that, yeah. T and you mean, yo, they both was into this. She made that chat before Lex. Hold up. Let's rewind, because this is all crazy. This right here, this the real investigation work. So let's listen to the story, because we gotta get this joint right.
Outside of the zombies community and forming a personal friendship with Jason Blundell. Lex concluded in his video a false testimony from my old roommate and ex-best friend, Anna Zendel, also known as Jello Anna on all platforms. He shows a screenshot that shows a text from Anna where she claims that while she was living with me, I was taking pictures of knowledge or consent and that I was selling them.
This your best friend. You was living with her, y'all was comfortable, you know what I mean?
And it goes as far as saying that I was exploiting her and that I even laughed about it. Anna adds a second message to Lex and tells him that she relates to him because she thinks she is a victim of my mind games and manipulation. She's a complete two-faced, lying.
She was just your best friend a second ago. Now she a two-faced lying what?
She's just
crazy work. Crazy. Can y'all believe this? I know y'all don't. We got the smart chat in the building. They reading right through this. Come on.
Just lying. As an actual victim of exploitation, it was astonishing to see her make such claims. It was as if Anna was taunting me by saying this stuff. It was honestly a complete shock to me that Anna went out of her way to reach out to Lex, considering she lived with me for 6 months and she saw how...
Y'all lived together for 6 months. That's more than enough time to get comfortable enough to set all this stuff up. That's more than enough time to think of a plan. You know what I'm saying? The money that you was getting probably wasn't enough for you. So that's the reason why you brought it up with Anna. You know what I'm saying? Who knows how much time after y'all was living together that you did this?
How Lex was affecting my life daily, even before all this drama hit the internet. Anna knew that Lex would side with my...
Okay, so this is after Lex. then. This is after Lex. Okay, this is after Lex. She said this is after Lex. Either after Lex or during the time. This is either after Lex or during the time. This is during the time of when Lex was, in Canada, because of that 3-month time period that he was only able to be in there. And then this is the same apartment that Lex is paying for. Then this all makes sense during that whole timeline. During this entire timeline. Lex was only able to be in America for 3 months, right? He goes back to Canada. 6 months of that time where Lex is in Canada. This is what Anna decides to do? While Lex is in Canada? Word? And Anna was 21? I'm saying this all sound a little funky to me. If she was a man during that chat or she made that chat before me, either way, right? Regardless of when, that's still wrong. I'm saying, 'cause the whole time she dealing with Lex in Lex's apartment. This is in Lex's apartment. If we putting together this timeline correctly, this is while she's dealing with Lex.
And the buyer. We did our first Snapchat session as a three.
What? How old was you? And how old was she? All of y'all is in the wrong. This is nasty work.
Buyer on March 7th. As you can tell, by the date that the group was created. We both typed in the
Oh,
Snapchat
hold on.
on March 7th.
March 7th, 2024. Oh, so she was legal at the time. She looked. So this changes everything. What the hell is this then? Because I thought she stopped talking like 2023. So hold on. This is after everything? This is completely after everything? Like, so whose apartment is this still? Is this an apartment that you used Lex's money for then? I'm not. Somebody help me understand this. This is confusing. I thought she said March 2017. She said March 7th, 2024. After all this with Lex, this is what she's doing? What? So, somebody help me understand this. I thought she said March 2017. I'm like, right, at least she's not hiding it, but it is confusing. She wanted to get the truth out there, and this whole timeline is crazy. It's hard to follow along to. And she's putting information in there that doesn't really need to be. Exactly, this is what it seemed like. Because it's like, what? This was March, this is 4 months ago. 4 months ago. So Anna was your best friend all the way up until when? Because this is 4 months ago. I thought this is during the time of everything. This would have made so much more sense if this was during the time of everything. But the fact that you... So you just went through all this with Lex, right? And you felt like he was manipulating you and all kind of stuff, exploiting you and whatnot. And then you just go and do that yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's why that's why I felt like it might be a psychological thing. But at the same time, if this is what she's into, then why is she complaining about it? Like that would still prove that, you know what I'm saying? Well, not even prove, but that could still be used as leverage to say that you was into this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And we still got how much time left? Bro, we still got a half an hour left. No, this is where I got confused at. I thought this was 2017. So apparently this whole story about Anna happened within the last 4 months. I thought this was over the past few years. This was over the past 4 months that she fell out with Anna. What? 4 months ago, you was just making content with her. 4 months ago, you was just making content with her. What happened? And look how much time is left in the chapter. So we're going to find out. But this right here is so what? Exactly. Someone need an interviewer. Facts. Mind you, I reposted this joint, tagged it. For all we know, she could be in this chat right now, just not saying nothing. For all we know, she could be in the chat right now. This is probably why she turned the comments off.
As you can tell by the date that the group was created, we both typed in the Snapchat group chat as we sat right next to each other and we talked aloud. It was never serious, and we were telling him things that he wanted to hear while just giggling to ourselves and making jokes about how we're making money off of him.
Ain't nobody paying $500 for that. Ain't nobody paying multiple $100 of that. You're not getting off with no pictures. You're gonna find somebody else. Come on. Y'all was doing a freak nasty.
During the Snapchat session, the buyer requested non-sexual photos of Anna and I together, saying that he would add more money to the pot that he was paying us all together. Anna and I took this photo of us together, sitting on my beanbag right next to each other, and sent it to the buyer.
I guess people is desperate enough to pay for that.
As you can see in the photo, Anna has a Snapchat group chat open on her phone, as well as we are consenting to this photo being taken. She is posing with me for this photo. That same session, Anna even let me record a video of her kissing my stomach for the buyer because he requested it. And by kissing my stomach, I mean she just hovered her face over my stomach and we manipulated the video in order for it to look like she was kissing me. We were both consenting to what we did, and I did not want to make Anna uncomfortable, nor did I want to be uncomfortable,
So she manipulated. Either way, it's in her blood to lie. It's in her blood to think like, all right, regardless if she's lying about sending stuff or not, right? She's still saying that she's manipulating and she's exploiting. So regardless of who's saying it, she's admitting to the fact that she can be known for this. Exactly. This is something else, right? It's more, we getting more of the wrong answers. You know what I'm saying? The answers is answers, but these are not the questions that we asking. This is not the information that we asked for. This is not the information that we asked for, but we got it. This is the information that needs to be in court, not presented on the internet. This is something that can result in a mistrial. Because with all this confusion, her lawyer should have helped her edit this too. She should have sent this to the lawyer before she put this out. She probably uploaded this just after taking his advice.
Which is why we took precautions in faking the video. The incident where Anna talks about me touching both of these videos during a different gen with the buyer. In this video, Anna can be seen sitting on my beanbag with the Snapchat group chat open again. In this video, Anna is talking to me about what she should text the buyer.
This should not
and
be
in the
on
video,
YouTube,
I say,
bro.
sorry,
I'm gonna have to delete this stream and edit this.
I recorded this video for the buyer because he asked for a
This
video.
is too risque, bro.
The clip
This is
cuts
too
off
risque.
right after I smack Anna's butt, and in real life, we bursted out into laughter. After the clip was recorded, I immediately took my hand off of Anna. I did not squeeze her butt. I did not linger. I did not make it. Bursted out into laughter, and it became an interaction that Anna would proceed to tell our friends as a funny story. Anna has told multiple friends this funny story, telling others like, haha, one day we were sitting on the beanbag, Ren smacked my butt. Oh, ha 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 ha. Because it was a funny thing. I never.
No, you mean you was doing this for money because the buyer requested it? I thought you did that because the buyer requested it, not because it was funny.
I never hurt her. I never did anything bad to her. It's really shocking to me that she would even say something like this. In a different Snapchat clip from that night, you can see me playfully hitting Anna's butter sleeve.
He was just like, would you let Ren walk you on a leash? And I was like,
That's your hand.
yeah. And then he like started talking about
I see fingertips.
pet play.
And in the video, Anna says, but he's just like, would you let Ren walk leash? And I was like, yeah. And then he started like talking about pet play. You can hear in Anna's tone of voice that she is clearly taking things very lightly. She wouldn't actually let me walk her on a leash, and I wouldn't be interested in doing that either. She's my friend.
But y'all willing to do this for a couple dollars though. You willing to go against your morals for a couple dollars though. You don't normally do this, but hold up. Let's get back to the comments. What the comments got to say about this? If they were best friends and her friend sided with Lex, there's got to be something really missing here. Exactly. Probably dropping out now. Yeah, see? She's got some balls to publicly say this stuff. Not a good idea to say this, though. It's irrelevant to the Lex thing. Exactly. She shouldn't be putting these interactions on YouTube either. Yeah. She a bad gal. She's a bad gal. That's why I mean ignore her roommate. Yeah, sure. There's a lot of information in here. Whole lot of it, though. She telling on herself. You know what I'm saying? She ain't telling on Lex. She telling on herself. That's what she doing.
We never felt like things were overly serious because we were always the ones in charge. Anna and I never sent the buyer.
You thought you was the one in charge. If you was so in charge, you would have really been able to do more for less. Or get more for doing less, I should say.
Photos or videos of us doing something that we never consented to. And any video or photo that we did send was always of us fully clothed, never weird, never degrading. You can see in this text message conversation right here that Anna.
This must be Lex. This gotta be Lex. That buyer gotta be Lex. It ain't no way. This gotta be Lex.
Snapchat buyer because she knew we'd make enough money to fund our Coachella trip. If Anna really felt by the videos and photos we sent to the buyer on Snapchat, why didn't she stop? Why did she continue to message the buyer and sell him videos of herself without
Isn't that the same thing that Lex asked you?
me and them? Why did Anna continue to bring up the buyer's name whenever she needed extra money? These messages are proof that Anna was a consenting 21-year-old adult. At no
Hold up.
extra money. These messages.
Hold up. Actually, let's look at both of these. He said he'll let me know about tomorrow. Just sent me Chris too. He just messaged me asking we done this week for oh Lord, for a three-way.
Self without me and them. Why did Anna?
Why is he the dumbest man literally ever encountered? Did you tell him you can't go because you have a trip? I told him, what if, hear me out. What if we get a free trip to Germany and a free hotel? Down if you help me get a passport. Is he gonna cover our rent for that month too? Hold on, let me turn the captions off. Is he gonna cover our rent for that month too? Because I'm assuming we'd be off of work at least for a week or so, right? If not, I'd be down to work something out with Chris or others. We could definitely or others. What? Why would you include this? And you're only talking about one buyer. She's talking about others. Y'all had to be doing more. She's talking about doing more. Hold on, this not even the only screenshot.
I continue to bring up the buyer's name whenever she needed extra money. These messages
I'll do it myself. We got doctor at home. Should we hit up Chris? Sure, for rent money. You talking about sure you agree with it though?
are proof that Anna was a consenting 21-year-old adult.
And you was into it.
At no point
Y'all was
in
in
Anna's
cahoots.
life or in Anna's relationship with this buyer was I forcing it. Or was I
Like what? That's crazy. Yeah, but still, it sound like as much as Lex manipulated her with money, quote unquote, it sound like she did the same thing to Anna. It sound like she just manipulating everybody around her.
holding it over her head? If Anna wanted money, she knew that she could get a quick $100 out of him. Anna was never being taken advantage of, and she was never being harmed.
Damn, need some $5. $100? That's it? $100 in 2024? Mind you, this is 2024. They busting it open for $100. Who knows what else they gotta do? But just for $100? What? You ain't up the price? They do anything for $1, y'all. It's 2024. That's crazy. Look what money making do. Oh, wait. Yeah, she said she made more money. Exactly. So if she made more money, right? That means she was getting bread from Lex. She was getting bread from this buyer, aka Chris. She was getting bread from a lot of different ways. Same thing with Anna. They had multiple sources of income. It was pimping.
Anna had never been exploited by me or the buyer like she claims. What blows my mind even more about Anna lying about me and trying to flip this situation on me is that before Lex and Anna were in contact, Anna was clearly on my side and she was willing to defend me against Lex. The last message Anna sent me was on July 24th, 2024. The date that Anna messaged Lex and decided to lie to him about me was on July 25th, 2024. Meaning that not even 24 hours later, Anna was so quick to backstab me and lie about me to my abuser that she knew your story is all. Just some extra things I'd like to address from Lex's video because he made so many hard to just make a timeline about them all. Like these are some out of context clips from my stream to try to frame me as not a victim or saying that I didn't actually go through what I went through because I was caught on stream making jokes about what actually happened to me or whatever. I just wanted to state that even in that stream that I made when I came back, before I was making jokes, before I was poking fun at my own bear, because as someone who has gone through this trauma, I have a right to make fun of my own trauma. But nonetheless, I stated multiple times in my stream that the situation with Lex and it going public has completely destroyed and desensitized me. I even broke into tears on stream and I got really emotional when I talked about how nobody views me as a human anymore. People are only viewing me as some sort of entertainment that they can talk about, perceive, and make content on, which is really unfair and really inhumane. That is why in my stream,
Really
I
inhumane
said
is
that
crazy.
I wish that whoever wants to cover my story with Lex would at least reach out to me instead of trying to just profit off of my trauma.
Nobody should ever reach out to you. Anybody that ever said a word to you has nothing good to say about you. You better not hit me up. I'm gonna try to get some money out of you.
It is my story, and almost everyone who reviewed my story gets so many important details wrong, even though that they are clearly written in the documents.
And you just presented your documents.
A common misconception that I've seen go around from people who report on the story is that people think I'm 17 years old in the video where Lex is the Z house. I am not 17 years old. I am 16 years
And you knew that.
old. And
Doesn't make a difference. You knew that.
Lex is 19 years old.
Doesn't make a difference. You knew that.
I say it in the document. People
You participated in this.
say we have a 2-year age gap, but
You admitted to knowing this stuff.
we don't. We have a 3-year age gap.
It's not a full 3 years.
It's clearly right there. These
What you trying to say? Besides this was saying before you even made this video.
facts have been presented time and time again, but people are choosing to ignore them.
We not ignoring it. I'm listening to it right now, and now what? Now that we listening to it, it just sounds way more confusing, and you look more incriminated than you did before. Well, you look more guilty than you did before.
And that's what really sucks for me as the actual victim trying to get her word out.
There's ways to contact the very same people that's reporting on your story, on your trauma. People hate when stuff happen to them, but they're willing to do the very same thing to other people, man. The hypocrisy.
Because people trying to diminish my story will say, "Oh, it's only two years. That's not."
For one, it ain't even about the age gap no more. That's a crazy thing. That's a crazy thing. Hold on. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Exactly. That's what she into. Never heard someone say cat so many times in my life. I wasn't even paying attention enough to hear cat. No, then again, I was. That's why I zoned out, because she kept talking about some cat. Sound like girl drama. Oh, yeah, exactly. Shows no context or exactly. But she just so happened to have context and dates for everything else. Yeah, guy supposedly could afford it. Yeah, fell for an email. I'm like, last year? Was it last year? Or was it the year before that, when all the YouTubers got hacked? You know what I'm saying? Because they fell for a fake email. They thought it was real. You know what I'm saying? It was about the AdSense thing and having 2 AdSense accounts. Gotta read chat about Lex being hacked. No one views me as a human anymore. You might not be. Probably sell new 2,000 a pop, probably higher than you probably do. And then if that's all she feel like her body is worth, that's crazy. I don't believe she only sells safe for work. My dog Boat, what's the word? Ellis, my dog, how's physical therapy treating you? I just got here, she Kevin again. I don't know, she's saying some stuff that's worth listening to, but then other stuff is kind of like she exposing herself. Shit crazy work, man.
Oh, it was more than 2 years. If these people actually wanted to cover my story and do the right thing, they'd reach out to me. But these people don't.
Why would anybody reach out to you? You clearly have a problem with anybody speaking on it. Why would anybody reach out to you? Why? Your Twitter is private. Your Twitter was private. You ain't with no contact from the outside world. You think anybody was going, like, what? You wasn't going to respond to nobody. What are you talking about? Look at you. Look at you. This is the real you. You going off script. This is the real you.
Because like I said, these people don't view me as a person anymore.
We tried to. But when you out here saying certain things and you're not saying what it really need to be said, how can you expect us to treat you the same way that someone else would? A person that was actually, going through all this will actually say what is going on for the most part. The stuff that they will be hiding is the actual events. You're so happy to detail in graphic detail at that about what happened, but then when it comes to something so little as like a date or a screenshot that you've been providing throughout the whole video, then it seems to be an issue. And then you have a problem with the fact that people scrutinize you. Why? You can do the same thing. Why don't you respond to the people that's making stories about you then? Why not? There's so many ways to handle this. That's it, man. God be blessing the wrong people.
People have seen so much of me exposed on the internet. I mean, you guys have literally seen raw.
You exposed yourself. What are you talking about? Even within this video. Like, bro. You ever just wanna... Let me not make that joke. But have you?
Photos of me, getting photos of me as a minor and so forth. I have nothing hidden about myself anymore. Every detail about me in this relationship has been exposed, and it really sucks that I had to show my own claims. Lex uses a clip of—
You ain't show no video. What? That's what I'm saying. You're already using the wrong terminology. I was saying in the beginning of the video, actually in the last video, I was saying there might be a difference between what she's saying. Like I'm saying, like as far as that 4-letter word, that might not be what happened every single time. She said that there was that one time, you know what I'm saying, but prior to that, it might have been a 6-letter word to begin with M.
Of me in my stream and says that I was yet again joking about being clip that Lex is using against me, that I'm coping with my trauma and coping with my reality by making jokes about it. Now that everyone knows literally everything about my life, it's hard to just be normal. It's hard to come on this camera and just be normal after everyone on Twitter has made fun of me and seen so many things about me. It's hard.
How do you think Lex feel?
Hard for me to just look at myself as a normal human being, even right now. Right now, to
And you want us to?
everyone else, I'm just the girl who might painting out to be a bad guy, right?
Now you just sympathy baiting. You begging for pity right now. It ain't happening. You making real victims look bad. She been proving to me I don't trust anything. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Her lawyer probably going to drop out. Might as well. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to tell you, man, you should have been here in the very beginning. It was, man, wait for the edited version of this to drop. I'll tell you that. And with all these other screenshots of cases that you might think are unrelated to the story, kind of backs that up. Said Lex attacked her over a new guy. Said the only other guy in her life. You got one, yeah, she got more than one new guy, exactly. She got more than one new guy that's not written in the diary. Crazy.
Right now, people think
You might be a criminal.
I'm not a human. Right now, I don't have feelings to you guys. And like this reality that I know that nobody values me and that nobody sees me as a person.
You present yourself as if you don't have feelings. So if we see a lot of like emotionless, just empty sentences, that's just how you present yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you mad at that? If you care about your image so much, work on that. Then it's gonna seem fake.
It's not messing with my psyche, but
Yes, it
it's
is.
really, it's resonating with me.
Yes, it is.
I can really tell that nobody wants me. Nobody cares for me right now. This is why I've struggled so much with like getting wants me. It's resonating with me. Like, I can really tell that nobody wants me.
Why didn't you edit that out? You wanted people to, you really feel like that? Why would you even care about that? Why would you want anybody to want you after everything that you just went through? You should want to be single. You should want to just be not around anybody. You don't seem as traumatized as you make yourself out to be.
Nobody cares for me right now. This is why I've struggled so much with like getting my word out. I've wanted to give up so many times because I'm scared that no one's gonna believe
It's only been 3 weeks.
me, and I'm scared that I'm putting all this effort in just for nobody to believe me. But I don't know.
Let me tell you something. If you're presenting your side of the story with the hopes that other people believe you, they're going to see that, oh, you just saying that because you want me to believe you. You're just saying that because you want me to believe you. Matter of fact, this ain't the comment, but Brody right here said, now you telling me what to believe. I remember that. Says about it, find out exactly crazy. Who even knows if it was $500? He said, quick $100. Quick $100. Crazy work. She gotta chill.
Know how I would be able to live with myself knowing that I let my about me. I don't know how I'd be able to live with myself. Another clip that Lex shows in his YouTube video is from my own stream once again, and it's a clip of me saying Scarlet Reaper, which if you guys don't know.
Shout out to my dog Scarlet Reaper. Yo, what? Shout out to Scarlet Reaper. Shout out to Scarlet Reaper. What? Yo, shout out to Scarlet Reaper. Lex, the true trauma victim. Lex left out a lot of information. I don't know. Lex might be a criminal. Too. Shout out to Scarlet Reaper.
It's a clip of me saying to Scarlet Reaper, which if you guys don't know, he's just a guy. Literally no engagement, no interaction, no like. This is a girl hating on me. I think this is like 30-plus-year-old man. I have
Call Scarlet a 30-year-old man. Yeah, she like him young.
no idea, but Scarlet Reaper is old. Even though Lex says that I'm not a victim of him or whatever.
Yeah, hold up. Oh, yo, that explains a lot. So Scarlet wound up posting a picture. I forgot. It was a picture of like the grave sites or whatever, and they had a picture of a couple people on there. So she wound up reporting it. It's so crazy. Shout out to Scarlet Reaper.
I am a victim of harassment to Scarlet Reaper as well. So yes, I would like to double down again. Yes, Scarlet Reaper, you have harassed me and threatened me non-stop online ever since Lex has tweeted about his first tweet on Snap.
Why are you letting that get to your head? Shout out to Scarlet Reaper. Yo, no, he crashed out. Yo.
On the Snapchat video on Twitter. Lex knows this. Lex knows I'm his victim, and he knows that I'm a victim of harassment to Scarlet. Lex tries to frame it that I'm not a victim.
Lex
Scarlet
is definitely in the building.
Diehard Lex fan, and when I came out with my first Google document with the proof about how Lex raped me and groomed me when I was a minor, Scarlet attempted to find loopholes to defend Lex, and Lex found a safe space in Scarlet because of that. Scarlet streamed himself going over my documents and going over everything while making excuses for Lex's behavior. Because of this, Lex has in return platformed Scarlett to send me more harassment on Lex's behalf. Scarlett has
Platform Scarlett. I thought you said Scarlett don't got no engagement, no interaction though. So where is this platform that Lex gave him? Hold up, I need to find that.
been actively harassing me and sending me death threats and doxing me on Twitter for 4 weeks now, ever since this horror ordeal came to life. Like I said,
I told you, rest, bro. Imagine if I was doing that for 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I got tired of it.
unlike Lex, I haven't sent anybody to harass Lex on my behalf. Anything that I have going on with Lex, any bad blood that I have going on with Lex, is purely between me and Lex. But Lex is knowingly using his platform to send others to harass me, as well as Scarlet Reaper, giving Scarlet a bigger platform so that his tweets of harassment could reach more of a level than they normally did. Another thing Lex did in his video was subtly addressing this image of him bookmarking anti-trans propaganda on Twitter because Lex is transphobic and homophobic. This
I, for some odd reason, believe that.
particular propaganda that Lex bookmarked on Twitter was to promote the idea that trans people are pedophiles, which is really ironic.
Well,
Why would you want to bookmark something about trans people being that doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Lex is a bigoted homophobe and he does not respect gay people or transgender people at all.
I mean, so if that's his belief, man. So what? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't got no problem with that community. I got friends in that community. Not in every single one of them communities, I will say that. But there's a lot that you have seen on the forefront from that community that is fairly similar to this. As far as his views on whatever, that's his stance on it. I'm not gonna bash him for that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to certain people in that community though, but you can't shout out that whole entire community. And there's a reason why there's a stigma that comes with that, and there's a reason why there's a whole, like, bro, the whole thing about the pedophilic LGBTQ community connection is it might be a theory, but from what I researched, from what I understand, hurt people. The chicken came first. Somebody was hurt. They thought that's what, you know what I'm saying, that type of intimacy or contact is supposed to be. They grew up believing that. They wound up hurting somebody. It just so happens to be a coincidence that a good amount of those people, James Charles, what's the dude name from Mr. Beast? Chris Ava, right? You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to sit here and act like there isn't evidence of that from that type of community. But that's the reason why it's connected to it. Because 9 times out of 10, those abusers were abused themselves when they were younger by somebody that was older. That's usually how it happens, as far as in that type of particular case. Not saying that all hurt people do hurt people, but that is one of the lead causes for that. That's all that comes from. And a lot of people in that community don't really like to accept that because they were abused themselves. And their abuser is probably part of the same exact community that they're representing. They're going to Pride Month and all that, going to these Pride parades, and the whole time, that community is associated with their very same trauma. The reason why a lot of people have an issue with the LGBTQ community is because it's a representation of abuse, or it seems to be. You overcame your trauma. You overcame your trauma, and now you want to celebrate it. Good for you. But is that not indirectly stemming from the trauma? If the trauma itself did not happen, would you be celebrating that, or would you be against that?
Never agreed with Lex's point of view, and I was never a safe space for his bigotry.
I would say about half the video she provided solid. Exactly. In the first half of this video, she dropped 50. She dropped the 50 ball in the first half of this video. But the second half, she started falling off because she trying to, you mean? It wasn't during the drinking part. Yeah. I believe they was both underage for drinking. Facts. So at minimum, that's corruption. Yeah, ratio on it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Almost positive.
You're pissed off that people who don't affect your life have various ways to represent themselves? Why are you so hate?
Ain't that they favorite comeback? Ain't that they favorite comeback?
Lex. Lex was 3 years older than me, and I was the one having to set him straight at 17 years old. Even up until last year, Lex was using my DMs as a safe space for him to spew his hateful views on the LGBTQ+ community. I always let Lex know that my DMs are not a safe space for that type of shit. And I do not agree with Lex's point of view on anything related to that. Lex tells me that he relates his beliefs to Christianity and uses his religion as an excuse to hate gay people. But I promise you, there are a lot of people who read the Bible, a lot of people who claim whatever religion, and they don't hate gay people. They don't.
I'm like, you ever heard of Sodom and Gomorrah? This right here, this whole entire case could definitely relate to the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Facts.
Don't hate queer people. They don't hate them because they understand that they are people and their lives don't affect yours.
I mean, if you want to say that, everybody's a person then. All people are people then. You must apply that same ideology to everybody all around, even your abuser. Your abuser is a person too. How do you feel about that? Would you disagree? He's not human. He's not a person. He doesn't have a life.
Their decisions and their happiness really doesn't affect yours at the end of the day, Lex.
All right, so let's say you have no idea that human trafficking is at an all-time high. Human trafficking is $1 trillion business, and it makes a lot of people happy, and it makes the world go around. And it don't affect you because you're at home. You're at home. You don't care about the people that's missing right now. You don't know about stuff like that. You don't know about stuff like that. Think about that for a little second. You want to get real serious. You want to get real political. I don't think you want to do that at all. Because if you look at that across the board, you know, in some countries, you can, get married as soon as you hit puberty. And it's a normal practice. It's tradition. It's within their culture. Those are people too. They don't affect you. But I guarantee you, if you learn about that, you ain't gonna like it. Not one bit.
On top of hating gay people, Lex is also an apologist. When Tumad passed away, Lex expressed his sadness publicly about it in a tweet, and he also expressed his sadness about it in his mod group chat, saying, "It hurts, man. It really hurts. I understand what he did was not right, but I hate when people die." That is Lex once again proving
He feels everybody deserves life. You know what I'm saying? He a better man than me. I definitely don't feel like everybody deserves life. I feel like a majority of people don't deserve life. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, for Lex to say that he hates when people die, that means he wouldn't wish death on his worst enemy. He wouldn't wish death on his worst enemy. Say he hates when people die. He still referred to him as a person. He knows what dude did was wrong, but he still accepted him as a person and he didn't want him to die. I can't say the same. I mean, you can't say the same either. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't agree with that. You right now are speaking out against the fact that he feel like people shouldn't die, regardless of what they did. They feel as though, if Lex feels as though that he's against the death penalty, and death penalty is illegal in some states, you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't like social justice when they try to, you know what I'm saying, do stuff like that because it causes civil wars and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I understand. And then his religion on top of that, what? You're gonna bark on him for being Christian? You're gonna bark on him for being Christian? You're gonna bark on him for being Christian and then get mad at him for barking on people that's gay? The LGBTQ community is not a religion. Or at least y'all don't think so. But it is. People convert to the LGBTQ community. That's a religion.
that he does. Lex is himself one. Him saying, I understand what he did was not right. Like, okay, you understand what Tumad did was not right. Why are you still showing him support?
All he said was he said that he hate when people die. That is not showing support. I hate when people die. That is not showing support. There's plenty of ways to go about people doing illegal things. Now, as far as the sentencing goes and all that, some people get off light. But that doesn't mean that they gotta die. know what I'm saying? Now, if you ask the next person if they see something like that, who knows? Time. Oh, here's a perfect example. In jail. You know what happened to those type of people in jail? You know what happens to those type of people in jail? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, even though Lex probably would have been like, yeah, man, just sentence him. There's no guarantee that person would have survived in jail. At least he got sentenced. At least it went through the system the right way. The same way that you're trying to handle this through the system. Not really, because you're on YouTube with a 2-hour video. But I mean, like, the same way that this is being handled, you want that to be handled. You know what I'm saying? It's frowned upon. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, death is a sad thing. You barking on him for being sad at death? Come on, man. What is wrong with you? She's looking for an argument it doesn't need to happen by saying this stuff. Lex does not have a God complex. If you watch his Christian channel, you'll know he respects gays. He doesn't agree with them, but he's I don't know, man. Don't sound like that. Appreciate you, Jorge. She has no mercy. She getting mad for Lex not. Yeah, that's true.
Why are you still showing him sadness and kindness? Another thing Lex did in his video was show screenshots of my Snapchat story while I was in Vegas, and he used these Snapchat screenshots to claim that I'm not a victim because I was posting pictures of myself in Vegas with my friend and I'm having fun. Once again, I posted those photos and stuff on my Snapchat when I thought that my 2 Google documents were enough to provide my truth and enough to show you guys that Lex actually couldn't sleep alone and how I was having anxiety attacks. So going to Vegas really helped my mentality and reminded me that there was so much in the world. There's so much in this world outside of the internet. There's casinos and everyone's partying and people are having a good time because they're not on the...
You just described the rock star lifestyle. You just perfectly described the rock star lifestyle. And you consider that a good time. Casinos. You know you gotta be 21 to enter a casino.
Phones all in the way I was. Going on that trip to Vegas really helped me take a mental break from the harassment I was receiving.
Going to Vegas for a mental break? Stop capping, bro. Stop capping. Yo, how many people out here travel? And when you traveling, you thinking of Vegas for a mental break? Or you thinking about Vegas to party? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Online. Lex is disgusting for trying to insinuate that I should be sad all the time because of what has happened to me in my past. I've been sad for the past 8 years of my life. I know what it's like to be sad every day. I know what it's like to just live and be miserable. I know what it's like because I dated you, Lex. I only have so many years left now. You want to take those away from me too? You already took my teenagers away from me. Why do you need to take more of my life away from me? Why do you need me to be sad about you feel the need to be a reoccurring character in my life? I get it. You wanted to groom me. It's not me. I got to go. God, I'm free, honestly. My life has been so much better and I've been able to see the sunshine ever Lex has been out of my life. I've only been free of Lex for 1 year of my life.
Sympathy bait gotta chill, bro. She could have cut.
So this past year was honestly one of the best years of my life because he was not in it. My life doesn't have to end because everyone knows about my abuse story. Honestly, my life is just beginning because people finally know my abuse story. My life is finally beginning because I don't have to be with my life is finally beginning because I don't have to live in fear that he's gonna try to do something to me or hold something over my head anymore. I don't have to live in fear because I'm hiding all these secrets about what's actually happened to me.